a beautiful day and a beautiful night in the hill country of Texas. God bless Texas. Thank you. I mean, what a joy. This is a beautiful place. And before we go any further, I want to just say thank you to one of my best friends right here in Fredericksburg, without a doubt. Someone that I owe so much to. I wouldn't even be here tonight if it wasn't for him. Greg Ball, thank you so much. He's sitting at the bar over there. Senator Ball from New York, the most conservative senator in the state of New York, that got sick in New York because he changed it as much as he could and moved to Fredericksburg, Texas, so he could continue with his conservative values and principles through me here in Gillespie County. So thank you, Greg. And he owns this place. This is his business. So we want to thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. And remember, we're set up right now for a lobster fest tomorrow and Saturday. So there's going to be a huge lobster fest here. It's going to be a great opportunity to just come out and hang out in this beautiful place. But we're just grateful to be here. And I thank you all for being here. I guess this is my time to announce that I will be running for another term. Yeah. You know, Barbie, may I run for another term, please? For those of you that don't know, Barbie spends the whole session. So we're there for 5 months straight. And Barbie's with me for the whole time. And there's no way I would have won, obviously, without Barbie and Greg, but there's no way I would have been able to, just to be able to stay strong. We need our family. Our families go through so much as legislators. It is very difficult up there, but with the help of the Tea Party, who are hosting this event, thank you, Fredericksburg Tea Party. You guys are amazing. But I should also say it's your fault that I'm even here. You're the ones that told me to run, and you said it was part-time. And those of you that know that I own Ace Hardware know that it is not part-time, because I'm never at Ace Hardware because of this job. But I do it because I love it. I love customer service. I love my constituents.
And you love Texas.
I love Texas. I love the hill country. But you know, tonight is all about what is happening in Texas. And I am so blessed and so grateful and so privileged, as we all are, to have Colonel Allen West here tonight, because he will be telling you more about what's happening in Texas and what he's going to do about it. And we need all of your support for him on his run for chair of the Republican Party of Texas. We need a voice of not just reason, not just common sense. We need a voice of Texas values, independence, and our freedom, our liberty. Those are the things that we are losing here in Texas because we have too many people, and I'm talking about Republicans also, that don't want to stand up for our values, that are afraid to stand up because you may be made fun of, even by leadership in the Republican Party. We can't be afraid of that. Here we have you all sitting here voting, supporting good candidates, going to the convention, being a delegate, voting for a Republican Party platform that reflects your values and principles. And then in the Texas legislature, we have those that claim that and they do not stand for it. We need leaders that will stand for that. And that's why, with Colonel Allen West being a chair of the Republican Party of Texas, that will just filter down to everyone, excite our party, excite Texas, and get back to the real values and the independence and the liberty and freedom that we need to have here in Texas. Without Texas, the United States is in big trouble. As Texas goes, so goes the nation. Well, I can just tell you also that as your state representative, those are the things that I voice for you. I am your voice in the Capitol. The things that you want, just know they're being heard in the Capitol. We may not win everything, but we just need more of us. But with someone's voice at the top, helping to get more people elected that believe in the things that they campaign on, we can keep Texas red, we can keep Texas from turning blue, and we can keep those Democrats from taking over the state of Texas. And we can't have that, guys. Amen and amen. And I just have to tell you that it is a spiritual battle. That is what we fight. It's more than all the stuff you see on the news. It is much deeper, but it is much more real. It's a spiritual battle. People don't want to believe in God. They do not want to believe in the Bible, and they don't want the morals and the values and the principles that were taught in our nation for 150 years. They don't want that. We took God out of our schools. We took God out of government. We took God out of our society, and look what's happened. And now they want gun control because they think that's going to stop these evil, wicked people. That's not the problem. The problem is it's a spiritual battle, and we need strong Christians. We need people that are strong to stand with courage. And that's why I have endorsed Colonel Allen West for chairman of the Republican Party. It's going to be a battle. But ever since he started to make it known that he's running, things are starting to change. You've got to turn things around. You've got to, I'll tell you this, in the legislature, everybody wants the easy road. They just want the easy road. I won't make any waves. We'll just make the easy road, and then we'll come out and say, we tried. But you guys don't hear it. We have too many leaders, even in the Republican Party, that don't say what they believe, and they allow the Democrats and the liberal media to have all the messaging in the state of Texas. So we'll have Nancy Pelosi come to Texas, and she'll say, oh, the border's safe, there's no problem, there's no crisis. You guys don't even know what you're talking about in Texas. Where is the voice of the Republican Party in Texas telling her to get the hell out of here? We don't hear it. And here I am as a legislature. I don't feel I have support. I have support from you all. You want to send me back, or you wouldn't be here. You want to send me back because of the things that I do, the way that I vote. I make it clear, but I need more of us, and we need somebody at the top that is going to help us get more, and that's going to give your voice at the top in the state of Texas, and not let just the media have their message come through, because this is Texas. This is Texas, and we can't afford to lose this. And I don't want to wait any further. Colonel Allen West, please come up. And yeah, I mean, this is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to have a man like this to be here in Fredericksburg, Texas. So give me a big round of applause. Look at that shirt, man. Smith, Texas! This was an old post office 100 years ago. This is when the train came through from San Antonio. This is when Texas was Texas. It still is in a lot of people's hearts. But we've got to bring that out. And we've got to make people realize that you can be proud of Texas. You can be proud of America. Look at that, Make America Great hat. That's the whole point. Are we really proud of what we have here in Texas? Allen moved here to Texas because he knew this is the place that we need to save. Moved from Florida, where he was a congressman, and they kicked him out of there because they didn't like what he had to say. He came to Texas because we can't lose Texas. You know, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. So I know you want to hear from Allen, and I want Allen to talk to you for a little bit about what he's doing and give you his view and his vision for the state of Texas. Colonel Allen West.
All right, sit down. I'm out of the Army, but I can still say. Hey, Kyle, come here. Hey, and I want to tell you right now that I stand with this guy. And I endorse him, and I ask you to go out and make sure that you return him back to the State House for the great state of Texas. So I'm with you all the way.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all. I mean, normally when I'm coming down through Fredericksburg, it's on the back of my 2016 Victory Cross Country 8-ball, because I love driving through the hill country. And so if you see a guy, you know, that kind of looks like me on an all-black motorcycle, you know, please just give me way. All right, don't cut in front of me or anything like that. Texas is special to me, and I want to tell you why. You know, I was born and raised in Georgia, but I went to the University of Tennessee. And the thing about the University of Tennessee, you understand why we call ourselves volunteers. You know that history the minute you set foot up on Rocky Top. And there's an incredible, inextricable relationship between the great state of Tennessee and the great state of Texas. The first president of the Republic of Texas was the former governor of Tennessee. And there was once upon a time a guy who was a one-term member of Congress who lost his congressional re-election. His name was David Crockett. And he came here and he stood and fought on those ramparts there in the Alamo. But the thing that David Crockett and I have in common, not just the fact that we both can carry that title of Tennessee Volunteers, but we were both members of Congress. We both lost a congressional re-election, and we both said the exact same thing to the people that voted us out. May you all go to hell. I'm going to Texas. Kyle talked about what's going on in Texas and really what's going on across the United States of America. I want you to think about this quote from Sir Edmund Burke. And he said, "All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men and women to do nothing." And that's what we see happening all across the United States of America. I remember as a young lieutenant back in 1985, we were up in Germany and we were going through our combat in the cities training in Berlin, middle of the winter. I mean, it was cold. But one day you get an opportunity. You put on your dress greens, you blouse your pants into your jump boots, you put on your maroon beret, because you're going to get the chance to go through Checkpoint Charlie. And a lot of people don't remember what Checkpoint Charlie represented. A lot of people don't even remember that history. But when you walk and go through that narrow defile on that bus, you leave liberty and freedom. And you see tyranny. You see oppression. You see depression. You see despondency. You see everything that America stands for as a beacon of that liberty and freedom. You see every reason why the Lone Star State has always brought people to it. Because no other state, no other star shines brighter than the star that represents the state of Texas. No other flag in the United States of America can fly at the same height as the American flag than the state of Texas. But the interesting thing is that all of those things that I saw over there, who would have ever thought the ideas and the philosophies and the ideology of wealth redistribution, nationalizing economic production, creating and expanding a welfare nanny state, a dependency society, secular humanism, that's what you were talking about. And this whole thing about equality being social egalitarianism. Look, I wish that I could have been 6'2" or 6'3", but I ain't. And no one can make me equal to someone that is 6'2" or 6'3". I wish that I could have, understood the theory of relativity. I just know that Einstein said E equals MC squared. I can't explain it. I wish that I could have come up with many inventions. I wish that I could have been a small business owner. But the thing is that there exists inequality, but there exists the equality of opportunity in the United States of America. But instead, we have people that believe in an equality of outcomes to try to make us all equal. That's not going to happen. Let me tell you a simple story about this kid standing in front of you. And I share this everywhere I go. In 1961, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, in the inner city there, the same neighborhood Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born and raised in and preached in. But I was born in a blacks-only hospital, Hugh Spalding Hospital. In 1961, blacks could not go on Fort Lauderdale Beach. In 1961, blacks could not go on Palm Beach Island. But 50 years later, I was sworn in as the congressional representative that represented Fort Lauderdale Beach and Palm Beach Island. That is the strength of America, and that is what we're fighting for. And that fight begins right here in Texas. So many people have asked me, why didn't you run for Senate? Why didn't you run for Congress? Why are you running to be chairman of the Republican Party of Texas? Because the fight for America is here. It's not on Capitol Hill. Who cares if I earn a title of congressman or senator if I come back and my state has been lost? Progressive socialism is spreading itself like a pestilence, like locusts, all over the United States of America. The greatest export that comes out of California is not wine, walnuts, or avocados. It's progressive socialism. It has overrun Oregon. It has overrun the state of Washington. It has overrun Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and guess who is in their sights now? If you cross the Mississippi River, it has overrun Virginia. Our founding fathers would be upset to know what Virginia has become today. Thomas Jefferson, the writer of our Declaration of Independence, the third United States president, founder of University of Virginia, and yet students at the University of Virginia want to tear down his statue. And so they're after North Carolina, they're after Georgia, they're after Tennessee, they're after Florida. But there's no greater prize that they can have than the Lone Star State. And what Kyle is talking about is just this, folks. The only thing in the middle of the road is roadkill. Let me say it again. The only thing in the middle of the road is roadkill. In the Bible, it says this: you're either hot or you're cold. If you're lukewarm, I will spew you from your mouth. It is time that we say who we are, what we stand for, and say that you're not going to be able to come in here to the great state of Texas and overrun it and overpower it and change this state. And he's absolutely right. 2 weekends ago, Nancy Pelosi comes into the great state of Texas, does an interview with the Texas Tribune, and says that Texas will turn blue in 2020, and it will be wholesome for the United States of America. And no one stood up and said a word. Why do you think they had their presidential debate in the city of Houston? Because in 2018, every single elected Republican in the Houston city limits was defeated. In 2018, Kyle lost 12 colleagues in the state house. We lost 2 state senators. We lost 2 United States Congress members. But more importantly, we lost 56 judgeships. Now, why is that important? Because what the left cannot do through the legislative process, they do through judicial activism. And the other thing that is important is that redistricting is coming up because of the census. And if they take that into the courts and they own the courts, then what is going to happen here in the great state of Texas? We have got to stand up and fight back. When you look at all the major population centers in Texas, it's controlled by who? Dallas and Dallas County. Austin, Travis, Houston, Harris County, San Antonio, Bexar County, El Paso County, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, I mean, all of it. But this is where we need to, first and foremost, make a stand. We have to hold on to these important rural areas, North, South, East, West Texas, Central Texas, Hill Country. But then we also have to take our message into those urban population centers. You know, it's so funny that when I travel around the state, Sunday I was in Wimberley, Tuesday I was out in Amarillo and Canyon. I'm here with you all. Saturday I'll be in Victoria. There's so many people that did not know that on July the 4th of 1867, the Republican Party of Texas was founded by 150 blacks. Isn't that amazing that we call ourselves Republicans in Texas and we did not know who founded our party? If I am successful in becoming the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, I will not be the first black chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. The first black chairman of the Republican Party of Texas was a successful Houston businessman by the name of Norris Wright Cooney, who was your chairman from 1884 to 1898. But yet we allow people to call us in the state of Texas racist. And we say nothing because we don't know who we are. We don't know our history. You want to know one of the biggest racists that began the decimation of the black community in the United States of America? Get on Highway 290, go east down to Johnson City, Texas, LBJ. His policies through the Great Society began the destruction of my community. In 1961, when I was born, the two-parent household in the black community was between 75 and 77%. Today it's 24%. But where are our voices going into the inner cities? In Dallas, in Austin, in Houston, in San Antonio, all over this state, and telling people that. Telling people that while this Republican Party of Texas was being established and founded by 150 blacks, the party that you've been supporting for all this time, they were creating the Ku Klux Klan. You got to be bold. You got to find your courage. Because this is the most important time for the state of Texas and the most important time for the future and the legacy of the United States of America. And we can't sit this out. We can't say that, you know, we're taking care of out here in Fredericksburg or we're taking care of things out there in East Texas. No. I am sick and tired of constitutional conservatism being on the defense. Those of you that served in the military, you know one thing: you don't win on the defense. Even if you want to be successful, you have to go on a counterattack because it's all about driving the enemy from the battlefield. We need to drive this ideological enemy out of Texas. You know, when I was in Wimberley, I shared the story about Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16. Where it talked about being the salt of the earth, where it talked about you being a light. And a light is not meant to have a cover put over it. It was meant for that light to shine. Each and every one of you are a light. But if you're not going out there and shining, when you create that void, then the darkness takes over that void. And that darkness has taken over our schools. That darkness has taken over our university and college campuses. We don't have a system of education anymore. We have a system of indoctrination. And too many of you all, too many of us, as we say back in Georgia, we're not doing as it says in Proverbs 22:6, where it says, train up a child in the way that they should go, so that when they grow old, they shall not depart from it. I shared earlier, how many hours do you spend with your child and grandchild as opposed to a teacher? Per day, as opposed to a college professor per day. When you have your children that are coming home saying that, you know, the teacher told me I don't have to be Alan, I can be Aline. If I had said that to my dad, I wouldn't be here endorsing you right now. But that teacher that said that would have gotten a visit also. The fact that we have our kids that are going out and spewing this foolishness about the world's going to end and we all need to get off of oil and natural gas and why should I go to school because I'm not going to have a future. It's all because you have not done your job in your home and continuing to debunk these foolish stories that these professors and these teachers are putting into the ears of our child. They're supposed to be teaching them reading, writing, arithmetic, and maybe a little bit of history and civics, not their values. It is our time to stand up. And Kyle is absolutely right. If Kyle was a member, as a Republican, of the California State Assembly or the California State Senate, do you think that Kyle would be able to pass any legislative priorities as a Republican in the California State Legislature? We had a supermajority. So why are we passing Democrat priorities in the great state of Texas? The important part is that we need to make people accountable and responsible. Yeah, I took an oath to the Constitution, just like you did, sir, on 31 July 1982. How many soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen we have here? Stand up so we can give you a round of applause. We all took this oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. We took that oath freely, without any purpose of evasion or mental reservation. So help me God. That is what we must all take. You don't have to have served in uniform to take an oath to our Constitution, to take an oath to this great state, to say much the same as a 26-year-old said, not too far away from here at a place called the Alamo, that there will be no retreat, there will be no surrender, that it is all about victory or death. It is time for you to do exactly the same as William Barrett Travis did when he drew a line on the sand. And he said, which side are you on? Either we stand on the side of liberty and freedom, either we stand on the side of Texas and all that it represents and stands for, or we're going to watch one of the greatest gifts in the greatest nation that the world has ever known be taken away from us. I say it ain't happening on my watch. What do you say about happening on your watch? Edmund Burke said, all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. Let me close by giving you a quote from Mark Twain. Mark Twain said there are two most important days in your life. It's the day that you were born and the day you find out why. I want you, before you get in your vehicle tonight and drive away from here, to reconcile within yourself. And maybe tonight and today is the day that you find out why you were born. It is time for all of us to take that stand on freedom's ramparts. It is time for each and every one of us to let our voices be heard. It is time for each and every one of us to elect representatives with courage, commitment, conviction, and character. You need to know that your representative will do the right thing while you're putting your head down on the pillow. That's the covenant. That's what Thomas Jefferson talked about when he talked about the consent of the governed. So goes Texas, so goes this incredible nation. And if Texas can make a stand, if Texas can defeat the progressive socialist left, maybe, just maybe, there will be an awakening in New Mexico, in Colorado, in Nevada, in Arizona, in Virginia, and maybe even out in California. It can happen. It can happen. Never say never. But the thing is this. If people don't hear and know why what we do in Texas is the right way, then they will always choose the wrong way. When you see that U-Haul pull up into your neighborhood, take a nice little pecan pie or a nice cake or something, and you go up to them and you say, welcome to Texas. But you look at them with that serious stink-eye look, and you say, now why did you move here? And then after that question, you ask them very simply, why did you leave wherever you were before you came here? If we don't challenge people, they don't understand how special Texas is. My commitment to you is that every single day, every single hour, every single minute, I will make sure that people understand how special Texas is. Because that's what it will take to make sure that we preserve this incredible home that we have, these United States of America. God bless you all.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you all for being here. This is what it's all about. Without you, there won't be us. We need your help. So thank you very much. Enjoy your time tonight. Look at this crowd. God bless Gillespie County and Fredericksburg for being here. God bless Texas the most. Let's preserve it. And again, Alan, thank you so much for being here. Amen.